They fought tyranny overseas and came home to find it right in their backyard. In 1946, a group of World War II veterans launched an armed uprising, not in Berlin or Tokyo, but in McMinn County, Tennessee. Their mission? To take back control of their town from corrupt officials who had turned democracy into a dictatorship. This is the true story of the Battle of Athens, and it's one of the most underreported uprisings in American history. After World War II, McMinn County in southeastern Tennessee was run by a political machine led by Sheriff Paul Cantrell and his deputies. Elected in 1936, Cantrell and his men ruled the town like a private fiefdom. They manipulated elections, extorted citizens, and turned local law enforcement into a revenue-generating racket. Deputies were paid per arrest, leading to constant, often baseless roundups of locals, especially young servicemen passing through by train. By 1946, people were fed up, but change wasn't easy. Votes were routinely stolen, opposition was threatened, and poll watchers were removed at gunpoint. After years overseas, over 3,000 veterans returned to McMinn County, battle-tested, politically aware, and unwilling to be pushed around. Led by figures like Bill White and Otto Kennedy, the veterans formed a political group called the GI Non-Partisan League. They didn't care about party, just fairness. Their slogan, "Your vote will be counted as cast." On August 1, 1946, the veterans ran for sheriff and other county offices, challenging the Cantrell machine directly. Tensions were high. Both sides knew the stakes. Election day began with voter intimidation. Sheriff's deputies patrolled polling places armed, removed watchers, and arrested GI poll volunteers. But the final straw came that evening. After the polls closed, Cantrell's deputies seized the ballot boxes and locked them in the county jail, allegedly to count them safely. But everyone knew. They were going to rig the numbers. The veterans issued a warning. Then, as the night wore on, they gathered. Armed, organized, ready. Just after midnight on August 2nd, dozens of veterans surrounded the jail. They gave the deputies an ultimatum: release the ballot boxes. The deputies refused and began firing. The veterans responded with military precision. They returned fire, using their wartime training to take strategic positions. One group even used dynamite, retrieved from a nearby hardware store, to blast open the jail's entrance. After several hours of fighting, the corrupt deputies surrendered. The veterans recovered the ballot boxes intact, and a clean count was finally conducted. The election results? The GI candidates won by wide margins. Sheriff Cantrell fled the county. For the first time in years, the people of McMinn County had fair representation. But the national media? Silent. Many papers avoided the story, concerned about the image of American veterans using force against their own government. Others framed the veterans as vigilantes, not heroes. Yet in the town of Athens, the message was clear. The people had stood up and won. The Battle of Athens raises uncomfortable questions. What do you do when the system itself is corrupt? When elections are rigged and law enforcement serves power, not justice? These veterans didn't act out of rebellion. They acted out of duty, the same duty they had felt overseas. Only this time the enemy wore a badge. And while they restored democracy to one small town, their story serves as a timeless reminder that freedom, even in a nation founded on it, must be constantly defended. If this story shocked you, it should. It's one of America's most powerful moments of grassroots resistance, and most people have never heard of it. For more hidden chapters of history they'd rather you forget, subscribe and stay curious. The truth is never obsolete.